Hello, everyone. Today we have John Steuernol from Canada, and he will explain us how he is using BioWell in his practice. So, John, please tell us what's your the field of business and research.
So I got into this by accident about 15 years ago when I met a fellow in Toronto named Scott Foran who worked with Olympic athletes, and the only designation he had was muscle resistance specialist, but he'd studied all the alternative methods of healing, and he was working with people in the NBA and Major League Baseball and all the professional sports, Olympic athletes. And I was working for a stockbroker company, and he treated lots of the senior executives at the company.
Mm-hmm.
I found out about accident because my hips were just totally going crazy. And he took me from not walking to climbing a small mountain 2 years later, using all these things by tapping here and rubbing here and holding acupuncture points. I'm thinking, this is crazy. So I wanted to know more about how it worked. And so I started studying. I spent about $65,000. I call it my personal PhD. I studied hypnosis, neurolinguistic programming, thought field therapy, applied psychoneurobiology, psychokinesiology, Eden energy medicine, and body talk, and a few more things. And I just started studying this stuff, and people started to come and see me, and we started getting really good results. I still coach stockbrokers. I've been doing it for like a long time. I'm almost 69 years old. So I still coach stockbrokers, but I also treat clients with various forms of energy healing, principally thought field therapy, mental field therapy, and Eden energy medicine, which basically uses acupuncture points, balancing the rhythms, the season, and all that kind of stuff.
So
That's what I do.
how many years did you spend training all these fields that you have just named, all these fields of expertise?
10 years.
10 years. Wow.
Yeah. So I basically went all over North America looking for the best people I could find. So Dr. Roger Callahan, who was the founder of Thought Field Therapy, Dr. Dietrich Klinghardt, Donna Eaton and her husband, Dr. David Feinstein. And I basically searched out the best people I could find in each of the modalities, and I spent time with them and have studied under them. And now I just continue to do more stuff online, and I've amassed a library over here of all my favorite things. I've talked to lots of the scientists. So Dr. James Oshman, I've met him, I spoke to him. Rupert Sheldrake, I met with him and talked to him. Dr. Chris Astle Smith in England with epigenetics, I've spoken with him. So basically, I've just kind of found people who are really good in their field, and I've siphoned information from them.
So, and when did you met BioWell and GE technology then on your path?
About 4 months ago.
Only 4 months ago. Okay. So how did it get into your practice?
So I will tell you, I was part of this seminar back in the year called Body Electric. And I downloaded some of my favorite. I went through it. I didn't listen to all this stuff, but I went for subjects that related to me. And this one by Dr. Beverly Rubik, it spoke to me. And I actually read this 3 times. It was the 3rd time I was reading it. I came across this little reference to BioWell. And I've been familiar with curvilinear photography for a long time, but I could never find a dependable resource to do it. I could never find the right people, because there's lots of goofy things out there, right? And people say it's what it is, but it isn't. It's just baloney. So I read this and I did some research, and about 2 weeks later, I spent $2,600 Canadian, because our exchange is awful. And I bought my camera. And my sister Lynn, who lives in the same town I am, she just bought one the other day. She is a Reiki master. And she did some experiments with me. So did got her baseline over a couple weeks. And then she went and did some Reiki on herself. And then she came back, and phenomenal changes in the output. So, and she wants to now do this as well because she really wants to ramp up her Reiki practice. And so she's bought a camera so she can also do this. And I think actually she wants to become a Canadian West Coast distributor, but I'll let her tell you about that.
Okay, it's perfect.
I'm kind of like, I don't want a lot of clients, but I probably see 6 or 7 clients a week, which is all I do, because I also coach my stockbroker clients, right?
Okay.
But I do lots of experiments. And because I've had lots of challenges over the years, I mean, I was in the military, I was a hard rock miner, I've done all kinds of crazy things. I was an amateur wrestler. So my body's been subject to a lot of abuse. And I've done energy medicine to heal myself, but I can also monitor all the stresses that I'm exposed to, which are many, and see with the camera exactly what's going on day to day. I went through
you're the main client for yourself. So you're mostly testing yourself and checking your own state, first of all, yes?
100%. I do. But I have a young intern that I'm training, and he's only 18 years old, but he's a genius. And I use him as a guinea pig, and then other people. There's probably about another dozen people that I connect with that we've been doing various experiments to see how we can move the dial. And sometimes, like for instance, I'm just tapping here on K27 right now, and I've done an experiment where I tap on K27, I do the hookup, and I move everything. I can sometimes just hold my hands over the different chakras, leapfrog up the chakras, and the chakras come into great alignment. Just breathing and aligning the chakras. I know all kinds of simple things to do. So if I'm tapping right here, I'm tapping on CV17. This wakes up the whole energy system. Or if I tap here in GV20, I can just do simple things and notice the little changes in the biowell output just through simple things that I do.
Do you try this on your clients too? And you have some already database, like not only checking yourself before and after, but also for your clients applying these techniques?
Yes, with my clients. So I'm not a scientist. I'm not a techie guy, so I have to keep things simple. So, but you know, I do a little energy work on them. We do a pre. I do a little energy work on them, and then we do a post. Now, sometimes it shows a nice positive change right away, but sometimes it doesn't. But I know there's anywhere from a 20-minute to a 2-day delay in terms of how things move, and I let them know that.
Yeah.
But the interesting thing is, Dimitri, is that sometimes within 20, 30 minutes of the energy work, boom, there's been a very positive shift in the output that's shown on the system, which is quite remarkable. I think so. And
20-30 minutes, it falls into the standard range that is being taught in many schools around the world. That is meant to be the ideal range for the processing time of the body or organism of different kinds of influences.
Yes, because I'm impatient, sometimes I don't wait. I don't wait the amount of time I should, but you know, I want to find out the range. See, I can energy calibrate anyone anywhere in the world. I've taught myself a method of neuromuscular feedback. I principally use my index finger, but I can even use my toes if I wanted to. And so the difference in the stretch response and the energy output. I talked to Dr. Oshman about this, why it works. He says it's really simple. It's just signal strength. And so, you know, I've calibrated, I call this my $6,000 finger because that's what it cost me to train this, so I can use it for reliable output. And I got about 98% degree of accuracy when I'm working with someone.
Okay.
So I can calibrate their energies and their organs and what's going on and find out where the deficiency is, find an entry point for making a change. And I always work on the principle of priority.
And how does it correlate with biowell readings then? Your finger reading with the biowell reading?
So that's a very good question. I use the biowell as an indicator of what to look, but it doesn't always show what I think is the number one priority. And that might be because I just don't know how to read it properly yet. because I've only taken a little bit of training. I took level 1 with Tiffany and with Beverly.
Beverly Rubik.
And I've been playing. I've been looking, and I bought this book. Wonderful read. I don't fully understand it yet. Like, I don't have a degree in anything. I'm basically self-taught on most of the things I have. I have 3 years of university education, but I never got a degree for reasons we won't go into. But I call it my personal PhD because I just kind of go finding people who are really smart and figuring out what they know and tap into that knowledge and then go do experiments.
Very good. Very good. So are you planning to continue education in the field of biowell?
Well, 100%.
Okay.
So I've signed up for the advanced course. The thing I'm a bit challenged about. So when we took level 1, they talked about how you can use biowell for testing for food sensitivities. It seems slow and cumbersome to me because I can test food sensitivities with my index finger, getting neuromuscular feedback, and I can get it instantly, like instantly. And I can also affect a change. So Dr. Callahan taught a method using light pressure on the forehead, inhale or exhale, and to change for what they call an individual energy toxin. Yeah. And so I can move the dial very quickly, and I actually can calibrate on the camera afterwards.
Yes, of course. But you see that's one of the objectives of using this system of like biowell is just to visualize what you already know sometimes, so that you know that it is like that, but you need to visualize not sometimes not for yourself but for your client to show them how it is. So like just to for the person, it's very important to see some kind of visual content in front of their eyes.
100%. And the one reason I like the biowell is it can give another form of feedback, because my form of energy testing is so advanced, unless you really know me, you just think that's bullshit. Because it's really advanced. There's maybe 200 or 300 people in the world that can do this form of energy testing that I'm doing. Now, I teach classes here on Vancouver Island, and I've got about a steady group of about 60 people I teach. And because they've seen me in the classroom and they know what I do traditional applied kinesiology muscle testing, I do surrogate testing, and I also use, my index finger. They've seen it all. And so they're very accepting of what I do. But other people who are new to me, it's kind of like, who is this guy? This is too strange. And so then having something else such as the biowell as a form of feedback adds some legitimacy to the thing. I know it works, but some people are not certain that it works. I've done a lot of work with people with joint and muscle problems. They got my shoulder hurts and my leg hurts. And the good news is, because the energy medicine can work so quickly, all of a sudden they're walking better, they're feeling better, the pain's gone away. So that's their feedback. But it would also be nice to have, so with that kind of an injury, that's easy to do. But some of the other thing where they don't have a measure, it's much more difficult to demonstrate that you've made some progress and you moved the dial.
Okay. So as I understand, you're pretty satisfied at the moment with the biowell, and you plan to dig deeper.
Oh, I do. I want to learn everything that I can.
Excellent.